are back in the Inchworm, and once again we are headed to Sweet Home, Alabama. We're staying at Chalachi Creek Campground near Gee's Bend, Alabama, where the first annual airing of the Quilts Festival will take place. Gee's Bend was named after Joseph Gee, who came to this fertile land located on a big bend of the Alabama River in 1816 to start a cotton plantation. After he died, his relative, Mark Petway, purchased the place and marched 100 enslaved people here on foot from North Carolina. He imposed his name upon them all, and many of their descendants still live here and carry the Petway name. This time of the year, the waning sun puts on a grand finale, spilling its golden light into the sunflowers and goldenrod lining the roads here. False foxglove, pink scale gray feather, bushy blue stem, blue curls, and dog fennel add to the show. The beauty starkly contrasts the harsh reality of the area's history, from slavery, exploitative sharecropping, ruthless money lending, and having the ferry shut down to prevent citizens from registering to vote after the Civil Rights Act. The residents here have somehow surmounted every obstacle with strength, resiliency, and awe-inspiring creativity. The beauty of Gee's Bend is a direct reflection of the people here. The residents of Gee's Bend are the most welcoming, friendly people I've ever met in all my travels. Here, strangers are treated like long-lost relatives, and I don't know of any place in the U.S. with as dense a concentration of highly acclaimed artists born in one small area. At the end of summer, during the first hint of fall, people would take their quilts out of storage and air them out before placing them on their beds for the winter. The airing of the Quilts Festival honors that tradition. It's sponsored by Souls Grown Deep, Nest, and the Freedom Quilting Legacy.
lot of quilts because my mom's house burned down twice. And my sister happened to have these up in the closet at her house. So that's why we still have these 3. My mom passed in 2008. And
Family
Miss
heirlooms.
Annie Nicholson, she was the cook here for the daycare center. This is her quilt. But that was Miss Nicholson. She passed last year. She was the last living board member
Were flour sacks?
of the original.
Were flour sacks used?
No,
for
this is
somebody?
actually regular material.
Yeah.
But this is how I tell people, if you remember the Wonder Bread bag way
Yeah.
back in the day, yep, it had polka dots on it.
Wow.
Remember that?
Yep.
Now, who is your mother?
Maggie May Square.
Well, thank you for putting
Yeah.
that.
You're
They're
more
just
than welcome.
beautiful.
Talk
about that one again.
This one here, this one has my mom's dresses in it. This is her dress. And this was her dress. She wore those crazy colored dresses with the wide tails. And she was a little larger than me, so they go swoosh. And this right here was, well, I don't know which one. I think it was Terry, my brother. I think those was his pants. And this is the corduroy from the original Sears project that the FQB did for them.
Wow.
So yeah, this is her. And the others are just pieces, that she just added in. Yep. It's got a lot of personality, that one. This is a sheet. She
Yeah.
just took the sheet off the bed and made a back.
Wow.
There you go. I like that. That's a great idea. Because it is nice and soft on the underside.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so those 2 are hers. She hand did that one up there. That's a star medallion also.
Oh, that's beautiful.
We got to do a little bit
Oh,
care
yeah.
to it. And a lady asked me, she said, "You wouldn't take $5,000 for it?" I said, "We'll never sell them.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
make us anymore."
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Heirlooms. So we keep these. Now we may loan them to a museum if they like, but we'll never sell them.
Yeah.
Because this is what you have.
sharing them with
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, that's spectacular.
Thank you.
Yeah.
How are you?
In the food tent, options ranged from traditional southern favorites like fried catfish and ribs to international fare. This is some kind of, I forgot what she called it, but it's Egyptian street food. It's caramelized onions, lentils, rice, a salsa type thing, and turmeric. Oh, yeah, and pasta as well. And then this, I've eaten most of it.
Is there anything hot in there?
It's not, it doesn't taste real hot. This is a pita pocket
The red salsa that goes on top.
with onions and garlic and spinach.
I don't like real
And
spicy
these are some little Egyptian shortbread cookies with a date in the center. It's all delicious. In 1966, about 60 quilters from Gee's Bend started the Freedom Quilting Bee, a cooperative that allowed quilters to sell their goods through art auctions and later commissions for both private individuals and companies like Sears and Roebuck. The cooperative enabled residents of Gee's Bend to purchase electric appliances, furniture, and even funded some college tuition. Through the cooperative and efforts on the part of people like Bill Arnett, the world became aware of the artists of Gee's Bend, and several museums arranged art shows featuring the quilts and the artists who made them. Souls Grown Deep and the University of Alabama Center for Economic Development, in conjunction with design consultancy Pentagram, have reinstated the Gee's Bend Quilt Trail by replacing the deteriorating original 10 signs erected to commemorate the 10 quilts chosen to adorn stamps issued by the U.S. Postal Service. The signs have been improved and contain a mural of the quilt and a brief biography and photo of its creator. In addition to the original markers, new markers commemorating the quilts placed in permanent museum collections through Souls Grown Deep's collection transfer program will also dot the landscape of Gee's Bend. There are numerous books and images on the internet of these beautiful works of modern art. Although many of the creative minds and nimble fingers who created these wonders are laid to rest in the rich black belt soil, their legacy lives on. A new generation of artists is stepping up. Stephanie and I each bought a piece from Cynthia Petway, who considers herself a fiber artist. I love my piece, and it's reminiscent of those modern housetop designs brought so beautifully to life by those early pioneers of the modern tradition. The next day on our way home, Joe and I stopped by the Oak Grove Cemetery. The hill there is dotted with tombstones bearing the names made famous by the quilters here: Petway, Young, Mixon, Witherspoon, Irby, amongst others. It's a beautiful place. All of Gee's Bend is beautiful to me. There's beautiful trees. Some of the tombstones here are made out of concrete, and those are my favorites. They're hand-lettered, made from materials available to people who didn't have a lot. One stone has a letter written backwards, but the letter is no less exquisite. In our throwaway society, as Maggie so aptly called it, the Gee's Bend quilters have proven that beauty can be found and created from even the most mundane of cast-offs, and that those cast-offs are precious. A father's old necktie that he wore to church on Sundays, a mother's dress that she proudly swished around her ankles, and a leg of a brother's pair of pants. I'll leave you with the profound words of Nancy Callahan from the Freedom Quilting Bee. Behind every quilt is the battle for economic survival against all the odds. Stitched into each is the full circle story of the black race in this country, from slavery to freedom and far beyond. The fingers, the hands, the care, the love, and the skill with which a freedom quilt has been brought into being represent the Southern black woman at her finest hour. In the video description, I've put up some links to some really good videos about Gee's Bend, the quilts, and the artists. I hope some of you watching will consider coming to visit Gee's Bend or attending next year's festival, and please consider donating to Souls Grown Deep or the Freedom Quilting Legacy. Thank y'all for hanging out.